Hi, hi, Christina.
Christina's
Okay.
frozen.
Yeah. So welcome to the Observers. Hey, Christina, good to see you.
Hi. You
How
too.
are you?
Good.
That's good. So for those of you who don't know, Christina's in America. So it's good to have her on she does most of our classes, but she doesn't usually come to the meetings. So what I might do, usually what I will do is put everyone in a breakout room so that you guys can connect and get to know each other. But because we've got quite a lot of stuff to get through today, we might just go around and do a quick little introduction so that everyone kind of knows who everyone is. So just maybe just your name and where you're from and what's brought you to this program today. Does that sound all right to everyone? All right, we'll start with Marie.
All right, my name is Marie. Most of you know me. Michelle, you're distracting me. All right, keep still so I can concentrate. Where am I from? I'm from Melbourne in the northern suburbs. What brought me here? Anthea took that sexy photo and it was too attractive, so she sucked me in and I paid the money and I've joined the class. Pretty much it, summed it up. It was that pose. It just had me.
Excellent. Thank you.
Well, she could even say hello.
Thank you. Can you pick someone else to go next?
Seriously, why I'm doing it, because I've done the first Observer and I wanted to learn more about the second Observer. There you go. That's the truth. Brie.
I knew it. I could feel it in my
I
waters.
could feel it too. Yeah, it had to be. That beanie's just sold.
Hello, everyone. I'm Brie. I'm from Melbourne also, from the southeastern suburbs. And I want to learn more about the law of assumption and manifestation to live my best life, to draw in everything I truly desire. And of course, because of the beautiful Anthea as well. And what Marie said, a little bit of that as well.
If only I could attract men so easily, you know.
Maybe you need to change the pose.
Maybe.
It's too feminine. It's too much for us female.
Maybe. All right, Bree, next.
I'll go with Amber.
Okay.
I don't know anything about the pose. I'm Amber. I live in Melbourne. What's brought me to the Observers? Well, I did the first one with Anthea and the girls, and it's like I want to learn more and do more and have a better life for myself.
Good stuff. So who would you like to go next?
Zoom user.
That's Salongo.
Okay, Salongo.
Hi, I'm Salongo and I live in Sydney and I've been healing with Anthea for a while now and I really love her. And I just wanted to join this to become a powerful creator and attract everything that my soul desires and to satisfy my soul. So we're gonna do it. It is.
Awesome. It's so good to have you with us. Yeah, who would you like to go next?
Actually, I cannot see anyone on my side.
If you go at the top where it says view, you should be able to select the grid and you should be able to see everyone.
Okay.
So while you're doing that, I'll just, Katia can't switch her camera on. So
did Christina go? No, right?
Yeah. We'll do Christina next. Perfect. Yeah. So I'll just read out Katia. So Katia's saying, hello, I'm Katia joining from England. I've attended Anthea's previous program, The Path of the Warrior, and I'm here because I need more time to heal. Thank you, Katia. Okay, Christina.
Hi, everyone. First, I want to say hi to Michelle and Marie. I've missed you.
Oh.
Okay, so I'm from the States, Pennsylvania, actually. I've been on a long healing journey. I've done classes with these girls, some of them, and Anthea. And as she said, sometimes I do classes. I can't always get on. And then I disappear because I need time to process things on my own time frame, and then I reappear. And this program just really spoke to me, and it was something Anthea and I had previously talked about doing in some private sessions. So I am ready and here and look forward to it with you guys.
Awesome. It's so great to have you with us. Who would you like to go
Thank you.
next?
Oh, let's see who's here. Michelle.
Okay.
Thank you. Hi, ladies, again. Why am I here? I'm going to swear because my life's pretty fucked at the minute. But I've always loved Anthea's programs and wouldn't miss it for the world. So here I am, back to learn, heal, do whatever, get my life back on track.
Awesome.
So
Good stuff.
nice to see you again, Christina, too. Missed you as well. And Marie, of course, and all the other ladies when I get to know you all.
Yeah.
Thank
I
you.
will pick.
I think we've only got Labrini left.
Who's left? Labrini, yeah.
Labrini. So Labrini, we're just doing a quick little introduction, just your name, where you're from, and what's brought you to this program.
You brought me to this program. Good morning, everyone. Where am I from? Melbourne. And what else do I need to say?
Just what brought you to the program? What have
Oh, look, I love direction and growing and learning about myself. So I look forward to exploring with what arises and see what I can do with it.
Beautiful. Okay, thank you. All right, awesome. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen with you, and I'm going to start taking you through what the law of assumption is. So some of you have already seen bits and pieces of these worksheets, but what I'll encourage you to do is try not to take any notes. Try to just be really present. Yeah, Maria, I know you're going to struggle with this. Try to be really present, because I want you to start practicing being present in the moment. Okay? When you're present in the moment, you will remember more than you will by taking notes. Okay? So just try and stay here. So it may be a good idea if you love taking notes, watch the class again and take notes. Okay? Like, I encourage you to watch the classes more than once if you can, if you have time to, right? Because the more you listen to it, as we know, the more times we hear the same thing, the more it sinks in. But the law of assumption is easy to understand, but it can get a bit complicated, right? Because we're dealing with our thoughts, our emotions, our perspectives, and all that kind of stuff. So let's begin. Let me share my screen with you. Okay. So can everyone see that? Yep. Okay. So today we're working on the law of assumption, which is really exciting. It's a really powerful law. So this is a really basic description of the law of assumption, okay? So the law of assumption states that whatever you assume to be true, whether it is negative or positive, becomes your reality. So the key to using the law of assumption to manifest your desires is to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Okay, so the feeling of the wish fulfilled is like it's already yours, it's already happened. Yeah? So if anyone has questions, please just interrupt me. Don't wait for the end because we've got a lot to cover. So just unmute yourself and ask away. So Neville Goddard states that the great secret to controlled imagination and a well-sustained attention firmly and repeatedly focused on the object to be accomplished. So, as we move through, we're going to start talking a little bit about what it is you're desiring, what you want to create, and keeping your eye on the goal. Okay, so when you decide that this is what you want for yourself, your reality begins to transform. And it will throw you sometimes into states of chaos where you may feel like everything is falling apart and everything's going wrong, but it's actually falling away to transform, to move you closer to what it is that you want, right? And your job is to stay focused on that. And I know it's really hard, and this is why being in a group while you do this is really important, because you will lean into the others for support, or I encourage you to do that. because you're all going to go through similar things, to stay focused. All right, because we've been conditioned to fall into that victim mentality. Right? Everyone with me so far? Okay. The idea that reality is a manifestation of the assumptions we hold true to ourselves in our mind. We are mostly unaware of these assumptions. Many of us assume reality to be a certain way based on past assumptions we call experiences. And where these experiences may be true based on past conditions, they may be true based on what we want to create in the future. So we create the future from our past, or we create the future from our vision or from what we desire to see brought forth. When we look at the past, it is important to look at our assumptions. So let me just move this. What our assumptions were at the time and how they contributed to our success. Any questions there? Oh, you're on mute, Marie.
Can you explain that?
Which
Right.
part? All of it?
Yeah, like,
Okay, so the first bit,
I don't
the
understand
idea.
what it's- yeah, I don't understand.
Okay, so the first bit, the idea that reality is a manifestation of the assumptions we hold true to ourselves in our mind. So let's say, as a child, you were told that the world is a dangerous place.
Mm.
Don't go out at night. There's bad people. You can't trust people. So this is your conditioning as a child.
Yeah, that's what I was told. Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you're not aware of those, let's say, as life goes on, we forget about that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
But you as the adult now, you're assuming that the world is a bad place and you can't trust people and da, 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 da.
Mm.
And so because you're assuming that, you'll be experiencing that in your reality.
All right.
Okay, so you'll have experiences.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, I can't trust people, right? Or you'll feel like an idiot because you trusted that person and then they let you down.
Yeah.
So many of us assume reality to be a certain way based on past assumptions we call experiences. So if I have 23 years of evidence that the world is a dangerous place and I can't trust people, yeah, then I'm continuing to assume and I'm continuing to experience the same thing based on my past. Okay, so we go into these loops and we just keep going until we change those.
So it's the way we're
beliefs.
programmed pretty much with anything that we think.
Yeah. Okay. So they might be true based on what we want to create in the future.
And they can also be true based on our experiences or not really.
Yeah.
Because of our programming, our experiences are coming out like that.
Correct.
All right.
Okay. So we create the future from our past, or we create the future from our vision. Okay. So this is why what we're going to be doing is we're going to be ignoring our current reality because we want to start removing the old assumptions and creating new assumptions. Okay, so we're going to start ignoring our current reality until it starts looking the way we want it to look. Okay, we're going to start focusing on our vision of the future so we can bring that into the present moment.
And our vision could be successful business.
Absolutely. Yeah. Better self-concept, a new lover.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever it is you're desiring. Okay.
I understand it now.
Yeah. So when you look at the past, when you have flashbacks of the past, it's important to look at what your assumptions were at the time. Okay. And how they contributed to your success or to whatever it was that fell apart.
So that's pretty huge, like what you're saying. Like that encompasses pretty much everything in your life, like being told not to trust men.
Yeah.
Change that programming. Yeah, that's hard. Like
So it is hard, right? It is. And this is why everyone's going to really thrive after this program, because once you understand this concept, you will use it in every area of your life. You will use it with every relationship with everyone you have. And
So-
then it will become effortless.
So
Because
when
you're
it's-
embodying it. Yeah,
There's
sorry.
pain in your experience. So you've got to let go of the pain and the hurt. So the process is to let go of the pain and the hurt to create your assumption, or to actually just focus on your vision and just let go of everything in the past?
It's going to be like a bit of a juggling act. Yeah, you're going to start focusing on your goals and what you want, and things are going to start shifting, and people are going to trigger you.
Yeah.
And so the pain, you'll get thrown into your wounds at times, not always, but at times. And then your job is to soothe yourself through that, right? That's how you heal in that moment. You just soothe your inner child, you soothe your younger adult, however old you are, without reacting. You don't need to talk. No one needs to be involved in this process. Yeah. Because what's happening is the chaos around you that you will find at times is just showing you the parts of yourself you need to heal. Okay, so then you'll come back to this and you'll be like, wow, okay, I've cleared that. I'm moving towards this with greater ease now. And it'll be like that for a little bit. And then these triggers and these wounds and all of that kind of stuff will begin to fade. Okay. All right. That's right. Any other questions? Okay, so there's a little bit of the past in the now. So the now, we're calling the now the 3D. Okay, the 3Ds are current reality, and we want to start ignoring it as much as we can. Okay, and this is why this program is called The Observers, because your goal is to observe what is happening in your reality without being affected by it, without allowing it to pull you off your path towards your goals. Okay, so there is a little bit of the past in it. Now, you've probably done a lot of work on yourself and you've grown and you've evolved. So in here, you probably already experienced some peace, right? You probably are proud of yourself for the work you've done, and you've probably experienced a bit of growth. But there's probably, if you haven't cleared all of your beliefs, and if your self-concept isn't really strong, you're still bringing a little bit of the past into the 3D. Okay, so we're going to become aware of what we're bringing into the 3D so we can eliminate it, and we can start pulling in the future into the 3D. So you're probably already experiencing things unfolding for you, things going your way, you know, things happening that you've been wanting to manifest for a while. Yeah, or they're coming in with greater ease. Does that make sense to everyone? Okay. So at times you may really struggle with these concepts, but if you follow these concepts, you will begin to, you'll begin to feel, you want to have this ideal that you are responsible for everything that's unfolding in your reality. Okay, because this is going to help you believe that you're a powerful creator. Okay, so you see people the way you are, not the way they are. So have you ever had an experience where you are speaking with someone about somebody else and you're like, that person's really rude to me and really aggressive, and they're like, oh, that's interesting because I don't experience them that way. I see them, they're actually really nice to me and they're really helpful. Has anyone ever had an experience like that? Yeah? That person is seeing them in a different way and you're seeing them in a different way. So that person is showing up in your reality based on your assumptions. And the other person, for the other person, that person is showing up in their reality based on their assumptions. So this is where it's important for you to think about, how do you want people to show up in your reality?
So Anthea, you're saying, I'm just trying to get a visual on this, but
So let's go back to the you can't trust anyone.
Yeah.
If you have this concept that you can't trust people,
Yeah.
right? And you may have people in your life where you trust them.
Yeah.
So because you trust them and they've proved themselves that you can trust them, you keep believing you can trust them and they keep showing up like that. But then you're going to have other people who unconsciously or consciously you believe you can't trust them. And so they keep showing up in your reality like that.
So you got to change.
Yes.
But let's say there's hurt, there's pain, there's.
So you got to clear it. You got to release it. Okay.
Oh.
People will keep, so this is the hard bit.
But
People,
isn't that a lesson, Anne? Like, isn't that a lesson that when someone hurts you, it's a lesson to just put boundaries up, like, and you don't have to. So what you're trying to say is you clear it, you set your boundaries, and then you create a new reality with a more positive assumption, and then that person will show up differently.
with this concept,
Yeah.
when you change energetically, when you change your beliefs and your concepts and all that, you don't need to confront anyone. You don't need to have a verbal conversation. Okay. They will automatically change and show up in your reality differently.
Because I've made the change.
Because you're starting to see them differently.
All right.
Okay. So all of you've probably heard me talking about seeing people through the eyes of love.
Mm.
Yeah. When you just begin to see everyone through the eyes of love, your ex, the people who hurt you, you know, your parents, whoever it is, they will begin to show up in a softer way in your reality. Okay. And when you do feel in a moment of when you're in the 3D and you do something, there's a bit of conflict. When you, if you need to set a boundary, if you do it in a soft way, they will show up, they will respect you. They will respond with respect. Okay. But when you're showing up when you're perceiving them to be vindictive, aggressive, manipulative, all these things, which we can all be, they will continue to show up in your reality in that way because that's how you're perceiving them. Does that make sense?
So we have, so you're saying see people through the eyes of love, like unconditional love.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah, that doesn't mean let people walk all over you. That's not what that means. Okay. Remember that this is a journey that you're going through internally to change how you see the world, how you see people, so you can start to have better experiences. Now, naturally, what will happen is people will fall away. When you shift into this state of seeing people through the eyes of love, those who cannot be in your vibration will drift off.
Seeing through that's good that you mentioned seeing the people through the eyes of love, is that you don't literally just give your soul away, you have boundaries. So, and this is where the conflict is here, is that because there's pain and there's hurt, like you said, like, you know, growing up, don't trust anyone, everyone's out to hurt you. So is that a boundary? This is where I get confused. Is that a boundary that I or anyone puts, like, oh, well, I've been, do you get what I'm saying, Anne? Does that make sense?
Can you ask the question again?
You know, you said like you want to see people through the eyes of love.
Mm.
All right. And then you've got this hurt and this mistrust. You've got to let go of that and then have your boundaries set, but not see them through hurt and mistrust and see the whole world as aggressive.
Yeah. So you got to, otherwise you're seeing people through the eyes of your wounds.
Yeah.
I got it.
Solongo?
Can I, so like I understand when we're in our wounds, we just like see people and expect stuff from them.
Yes.
And I want to know, like, is there, like, because when I'm in my wound, I feel very impatient to love them.
Mm.
And is there like any exercises that you can like practice to, you know, move through that?
Yeah, there's a pill called Anthea pill. You take one of those once a week.
Need one of those.
So I think it's exactly what you said. Like when you're sitting in that wound and you're impatient, all you can really do is work through the wound and give yourself that thing that you're seeking from the other person. Yeah. So if you can catch yourself and be like, wow, I cracked it at them because I wanted them to show me love and they didn't, that's where you have to go, okay, I need to give myself that love now because I'm seeking it externally from me.
Okay, so if someone is lying to me,
Yep.
I would look internal and see how am I lying to myself.
Yeah, it could be that. It could be that. Or it could just be what I want you to think is, am I perceiving people as showing up lying? Am I perceiving people as liars?
Okay.
Because when
I never thought of that.
yeah, when you heal that wound of people lying to you and being dishonest to you and all that kind of stuff, then you're like, oh, that person lied to me. I wonder what's going on for them.
Mm,
It doesn't affect you anymore.
Yep.
Okay, you don't take it personally. This is about them. So you're just like, interesting. Okay, I'm going to go and process why that person showed up in the way they did in my reality. Okay. So you got to do this with everything. So when someone comes to you and they're like, oh my God, Salongo, thank you for like whatever, right? And I love you so much and I appreciate you. You're like, yes. Yeah, this is a reflection of my self-concept.
Yeah.
This is a reflection of how much I've been loving myself.
yes.
Okay, so celebrate the wins. And when something shows up in an ugly form in your reality, go within and be like, okay, so do I see all men like that? Am I craving love from like all people? Where does this come from?
Okay, understood.
Okay. Yeah?
Yep.
All right, cool. Any other questions? Okay. All right, so how do you see people? Okay, and all of these questions will be in the workbook. So you can go through, when I send it to you, you can go through and answer all these questions. But I want you to start thinking about these things. How do you see people? The person who hurt you the most, right? We've all got that one person. Often it's a family member, mother, father, who has hurt us the most, right? So how do you see these people? And often these are the people that we will struggle to see through the eyes of love the most. Okay, there'll probably be a lot of resistance there. What beliefs have they helped you create? Who else has supported those beliefs? So if you were taught that you can't trust men, we can't trust women, what other experiences have you had to support that belief in your life? So how do you see the person who supported you the most? And what beliefs have they helped you create? And who else has supported those beliefs? So we've all probably got a bit of a balance, right? Of really good people in our lives, or maybe one person who we can really trust, who really gets us. And then we may have more of the opposite of people we can't trust, or who have hurt us, or have neglected us, or abandoned us. So really important to ask yourself these questions over and over again. How do you want to see people? So these are just things that I've come up with. I want to see people as kind, supportive, loving, caring, accepting, giving, open, forgiving, mature, respectful, allowing, and honest. So these are some of the things that are important to me. That's how I want people to show up in my reality. So I have to believe that people can be like this. And it can be really hard to do if you have 35, 40 years of evidence that people are not like this. Okay, makes sense?
Yep.
Okay. So you see the world the way you are, not the way it actually is. Okay, so the world doesn't really change. The world is as it is, and you can either see it as a bad place or a good place. So whatever you focus on grows. And those other things. So let's say you have a lot of, you know, some of those days where you're like, oh, the traffic light's always turning red and you have to stop. And I had one of these moments the other day. Everyone was pulling in front of me to try and park, and I was slowing down. I'm like, wow, this is really interesting. What's going on here? Like everything was stopping me. People standing in front of me, right? Everything's kind of like on halt. And other days, the light's always green. There's a car spot where I need to be, and everything's unfolding in a really beautiful way. It's easy. So they're the two different realities that you'll hear me talking about that we live in. Okay.
And is it because this happened to me quite a few weeks ago? I was trying to get to my daughter's game. I can't remember where I was going, but I had to get somewhere. And for some reason, everything was just stopping and I kept fighting it. And then it's when I went to fill up petrol and the guy in front of me had a disability and he wanted to pay. So his carer was letting him pay. And I just stood there going, all right, just accept it. You're not going to be able to make it. Just let it go. Just wait. That is it. It is what it is. Everything's blocking me to getting to where I want. I just let it go. And guess what happened?
What happened?
The Red Sea parted and everything just opened up for me after that.
Yeah.
I actually got there 5 minutes early. It was
There
like,
you go.
like Moses stood there and went bang. And just went,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think it's sometimes good to just step back and go, okay, I'll just accept what it is right now. And then things will just open up. I found that.
Yeah. Just observe it.
Yeah.
You know, maybe the universe is preventing you from having a car accident or something.
That's right. Yeah.
You know,
that's what
you
I
just
said, yeah.
if you just observe without getting triggered and without, you know, like having road rage and things like that, you
Just
become
fighting
calmer.
that, except
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
found
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Thanks for letting me share that.
That's all right. You're welcome.
Lovely.
How do you see the world? What has been your core experience in the world? What beliefs have you created from these experiences? What experiences have supported these beliefs? And what is one wound or belief that you keep experiencing? So observe when you say things like most people, da, 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 da. Everyone is da, 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 da. Notice when you say these things, right? Because that's your psyche helping you become aware of what your core beliefs are of people in general, of the world. No one listens to me. I'm not heard, right? So really think about these things and what you want to transform. How do you want to see the world? And again, these are mine: safe, beautiful, magical, evolving, changing, peaceful, healing, spiritual, connected, honest, transparent, and real. Okay, so everything we work towards will be to help us become our most powerful, evolved self. Be mindful that in order for this to happen, layers of your wounded ego need to dissolve and your current reality needs to collapse. At times, you may want to detach and give up. This is a part of the process. Your transformation will bloom when you change the habit that has been keeping you where you are. Any questions? Okay. All right. So I just put this in as a little bit of inspiration, right? Because this image, it really represents the observer to me. Okay, because this guy or this girl is just observing. They're not reacting. There's a storm in front of them, the fire's burning, and they're just strong in their energy. Yeah, they're strong in their energy. So if I want to show up as a kind, loving person and see people through the eyes of love, when people come into my reality and they're angry, I'm going to go, okay, what's that reflecting back to me? It's actually not about them. It's about me. What's that reflecting back to me? What part of myself do I need to look at right now?
So how am I perceiving, and when did I create it?
Yeah. Or
Okay.
why is it here? What's it trying to teach me?
Okay.
Yeah. Because if you have to begin to believe that this is a movie and you're the director of this movie. And you have given a script to all of the actors in the movie. Okay, so when they come in, you've got to look at what it's reflecting to you.
That's very fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love that.
Okay. So really, really adopting that, not taking things personally. Okay.
Yeah. I get why would we want to be a human.
You get it?
Yeah,
What do you mean?
because it's like you're creating everything. It's like
Yeah,
a powerful experience. Also, you get to experience limitation as well.
absolutely. There was this quote that I read that the gods are jealous of humans.
Yeah.
We have the opportunity to experience the magic in this world and,
Yeah.
and playing with energy and creating whatever we want.
Full spectrum of light and dark.
Yeah,
And also you get to experience that, which is amazing.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm.
Right.
Cool. So we're working on 3 main pillars during this program: self-concept, relationships, and abundance. So everything really comes back to self-concept, okay? How you see yourself, what you believe about yourself, what you say to yourself, what your mindset's like, how you treat yourself. It all comes back, it all starts with the self-concept, okay? So that's what we'll be working on first, your self-concept. Relationships will be obviously we're in relationships with everyone all the time. So yes, ma'am. Oh, did you want to ask something?
Oh, no, I mean, with relationship with everything, like even money and like.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. And then the 3rd pillar is abundance. So your business and an abundance of love or money or whatever it is you're trying to bring more into your life. Okay. Okay, so your self-concept. How do you really see yourself? So these are some things for you to think about in the coming week. Things will begin to unfold. You'll become more aware of how you see yourself. What do you believe about yourself? How do you treat yourself? And when I say treat yourself, I don't just mean physically, like whether it's good food and exercise. I mean, how do you speak to yourself? Yeah. What are the things you say to yourself over and over again? And how do you feel about yourself? So the reason why we're becoming aware of these things is because we want to begin to think really positive things. Like if you want a successful multi-million-dollar business and you have a poor self-concept, you're going to really struggle to get to that. Yeah, because you're not going to feel worthy of it, or there's going to be some other hidden belief in there. Okay. So you want to start to think about where it is you're going, and probably a lot of you have already decided where it is you want to go. You probably got some idea of what type of business you want to have, or how you want to feel about yourself, or what you want your body to look like, or what kind of lover you want. Okay. So what you have to do now is remove everything from your awareness that does not align to where you're going. Unfollow people who talk about things that conflict with where you're going. Yeah.
Yep.
Stop reading things that don't align to that, because there's a lot of different beliefs out there. Okay. There's a lot of people that you may hear talk about these concepts or the law of assumption as a load of shit. Okay, so be really careful about who you listen to and what you're following and who you talk to, right? So spend less time with people who don't agree with this type of thing, or don't tell them about what it is you're doing, okay? And start changing your self-concept today. So the minute you hear yourself say something negative towards yourself, you flip it, okay? And if you notice that you behave in a way that you don't like, talk yourself through that. Just be like, oh, wow, that was a bit aggressive, the way you spoke to that person. Put your hand on your heart and just be like, okay, that was a really great awareness. Because sometimes we see ourselves in an ugly way and we don't like it. And then we start beating ourselves up about it, and then we start to feel bad and we go down a spiral. And it's not helpful. Okay, it sends us into low states of depression and self-attack and all that. So what I want you to start doing is like, put your hand on your heart and be like, wow, I don't like that. Yeah. brings you into the present moment. Okay. And you're like, next time, well, or you ask yourself, why did I speak like that? What was that aggression about? Was I defending myself? Did I feel attacked? Was I in trigger? If you can do that in every moment, then you don't have to write all this stuff down and then process it later. You can just process it in the moment. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah. And really support yourself. Become your best cheerleader. Well, look at you go. Look at you become aware of that awareness and changing it straight away. Okay? So we're becoming aware of things so that we can evolve, not to beat ourselves up. Okay? So back to this, just so that everyone can kind of let that sink in again. Remember to observe as much as you can. Especially in the first couple of weeks, you're probably not going to see a lot of change in your 3D reality. So just observe, because the 3D reality you're in right now is because of what was happening weeks ago or months ago or years ago. Okay, but it's not going to take years to change things. It's going to start to shift very quickly for you. But at the moment, just observe. Okay. So let's just talk a little bit about living in the end so that everyone really gets this concept, because this is what Neville Goddard talks a lot about, living in the end now. Okay, so you think about what it is you want to create. So let's say you want a new job, or let's say you want to, okay, probably this would be good if someone gives me an example of what one of their goals is, or what they're trying to create.
An art exhibition.
Okay, all right, great. So what you have to do, if living in the end is you having an exhibition,
yep.
Okay, you have to begin to tap into that feeling that you will have when you're about to have this exhibition.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you have to tap into it every day.
Really work that muscle.
Really work that muscle. So Salongo, tell me what would it feel like?
Okay.
If today was the day that you were going to have your exhibition?
Oh my God. I feel so excited, and I'm like a little bit nervous, but I'm like, it's a good nerve. It's like, I want to make things flow, not in control. And I trust that it's gonna be beautiful. I think I'm just gonna feel very excited and very allowing of the unexpected things to unfold.
Yes.
And just receive all the beautiful attention from the people who are observing the art, and the people who are lovers of art, you know. So
okay, beautiful.
I feel good.
Okay, good. So tell me now, what are the things you think about, because this hasn't happened yet?
Yeah. Okay. I think a lot about how much less time I have, like, and I end up making it my reality. I noticed, because I'm like, whoa, like there's so many things I'm gonna do, and I'm doing it, but I feel like I'm not doing it fast enough.
Yes. Is there stress?
Yes, the stress. And also I'll be like, I don't have enough money, but actually I do. And then I end up spending more money.
Okay.
Because of thinking like that. And it's totally subconscious. I'm like, in one go, I'm like, okay, I know I'm doing this. I'm gonna like think differently. And then the doubt comes in, and I'm like, and then after a while, I'm like, oh my God, like I just did that again. No.
Okay. So what you have to do is, this is where you're going to have to begin to assume new things. Okay. So living in the end means that you're in that state of allowing and trusting it's already yours. It's already, the date's already booked, Salongo, it's happening. Okay. So now, because you know it's already happening, you're excited. Yeah. And you're excited and you're allowing and you're like finding other lovers of art, and you're all of a sudden, all of these things are like coming to you.
Yeah.
Because you're not stressed or focused on how am I going to make it happen? How I don't have enough money, da, 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 da. Okay. Now,
Yeah.
as you start to live in the end, there is going to be that voice that comes in and goes, no, it's not going to happen. What are you doing? What a load of shit. It doesn't work. And this is where you have to be like, no, right? That's the old concept. This is the new concept. I'm allowing, and wow, everything's unfolding for me. And isn't this amazing? And I can't wait for people to see my art. Da, 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 da. That's what living in the end is.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you want a new job, you get up every day and you get dressed as if you're going to that new job. Yeah. And you tap into that feeling of what it would feel like to have that job and that income.
Yeah.
Right. So you have to start behaving like the person who already has it.
Okay. Even with like a romantic partner.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because when we focus on what we don't have, we create more of that lack.
Okay.
Okay.
Makes a lot of sense. Like,
yeah, good. Okay, is everyone else good? Any questions? Okay, so getting into the state of the wish fulfilled and becoming the version of the person who has their desire already, right? So if I'm trying to manifest $10,000 every day when I get up, I'm like, oh, this is amazing. I feel so, I've got that money there. What am I going to do with it? I don't think about how it's going to come, right?
like
Because it's going to come. So I believe that because I'm believing that I already have it, it's coming.
yeah, it's like, why am I so rich?
Yeah. I love being rich, and right, don't go out and spend all your money, but do things that make you feel like you've got that money already.
Yeah.
Whatever you believe, whatever the repeated thoughts of what you believe over and over again have no choice but to come into your reality, because whatever you believe, you create. Okay.
And
Yeah.
there has to be action to that, right? Like, it's good and great to think, yeah, I want $10,000 a month to be hitting my account, but how am I going to get that 10,000? Like, I'm not going to just sit in bed and sleep for the next month and the next
No.
2, 3. So there has to be, like, the belief is there, but there has to also be a plan, an action.
It has to be inspired action.
Inspired action.
Yeah, inspired action. Not from this mentality of I've got to do this work in order to get that thing.
Yeah. So what's inspired action?
Inspired action is when you get a spark, when you're connected to source and you get a download and you're like, oh, that's a great idea. I'm going to do that. And you go do that. Okay. If you try to create from a place of lack, you probably won't succeed. You'll have to force to get a client or push to really get things to happen. But that's the opposite of what we're trying to do here.
So you have to come from a place of, you've already got it. So it's a vibration at the end of the day.
Yeah, everywhere I go, there's a potential client. Everywhere I go, there's opportunities for me.
All right.
Okay. So as you,
That's the,
as you're trying to, build your business, while you're working right now, start to shift this concept, start to have this new concept, this new belief that everywhere you go, there's people who want to work with you.
all right.
And these people will start showing up. You won't need to do anything. They'll just start, what do you do, Marie? Oh, you're a health coach. Oh, wow, I've been thinking about doing a detox for about 2 years. Okay, that's how it will unfold.
All right, gotcha.
Okay. Yeah.
Question. What do you? Because I've seen this like Abraham exercise.
Yep.
And I haven't tried it, but I felt like they said have like $100 with you. that you can see, and then just like whenever you're out, when you see something you want to buy, imagine you're buying that stuff and feel that you already bought it, and then look at the $100 and you still have the money. So like, and keep on doing that without buying things. Just like think of buying things, but you still have the $100. So like they said it helps with like getting over of anxiety of losing money.
Yeah, we'll try it, Salongo, and let us know how you go. It's like, you know, for those who have been, who got married,
Yeah.
you know, like, did you ever imagine having the diamond ring on your finger? I did. I was like, oh my God, I can't wait. Like, I was like, oh, it's going to like, you know, and I would feel like how good that would feel on my finger every day. And then when I finally got it, I'm like, oh, this is exactly how I imagined it would feel.
Nice.
You know? So yeah, if you want that expensive watch or the expensive clothes or whatever it is, it's tapping into that feeling of how good you're going to feel. That's why when we buy expensive clothes or new clothes and we put them on, we're like, oh, I feel like $1 million right now. I feel like a superstar, right? So rules for living in the end. And I don't want you to really like think about this too much, right? Because you've got your set homework for this week, but we're just going to be talking more and more about this. Get up every day and get into the state of the version of the person who already has everything you wish fulfilled. Ignore the 3D reality unless you're seeing small changes, right? So that's observe the chaos, right? Don't react in it, go within. And then when you see small changes, when people start treating you better, opportunities come your way, you're like, yes, this is evidence that I am improving my self-concept, okay? Accept where you are on your journey. Tell the story of what you want over and over again, right? Men treat me with respect. Men wine and dine me. Men want to take me on dates. Men are lovely towards me. Men are caring, whatever it is, right? Persist in the story that you want. Because what will happen is you might meet a few more men who are disrespectful or, right? And that just means that you like got a little bit more work to do on your self-concept. Keep going though. Don't just give up because you have one experience or two experiences that isn't what you're wanting, okay? And just move this. Practice what you want being yours, like the ring. Oh my God, like it's like pretend like when you're a little girl. You're like, oh, like, and you're pretending you're a princess or whatever it is. Okay, like that. Be childlike about it. Tap into the childlike essence because it brings the excitement. Okay. So these are the things that you will experience when you're practicing living in the end. You'll question yourself often. Am I doing it right? Is this even working? Is this a waste of time? Where is it? Why hasn't it shown up in my reality now? Why don't I have it yet? How long is this going to take? So this is your wounded ego showing up, right? Allowing a negative mindset to take over, giving up. It's not going to happen. You can't manifest. Try not to be a victim or be needy, or when you are being like that, just observe it and change it. Don't obsess over your old story. Yeah, but all the men in my reality have disrespected me and abandoned me and da-da-da-da. Don't do that, Michelle, okay? Talk about your problems. Stop talking about your problems to anyone.
Okay.
Okay? What you speak, you create.
Yes.
Yeah? And stop talking about the past. Stop talking about the past, the people from the past, the stories of the past. This is a time for you to focus on you to become your best self. So we don't need to talk about anybody else. Okay? So again, the great secret is a controlled imagination and a well-sustained attention, firmly and repeatedly focused on the object to be accomplished. This is like trying to teach your kids how to say please and thank you. You got to do it every single day, 1 million times a day for the first 7 years, and then maybe they've got it. Maybe you need to keep going, right? but we don't stop teaching them, but eventually they get it. It's like that. Yeah, it's like that. That's what you have to do with yourself. We've got 20, 30, 40 years of conditioning beliefs and programs that we're going to try and change. It's going to take a bit of practice. And then once you get it, it will be effortless. Those beliefs will be cemented in you. Okay. So how do we get into that state? And I know time's up, so I'll move through the rest of this really quickly. So this is what I'm talking about, doing that work, right? Having positive expectation. If you get angry, if you feel rage, if you feel sadness, release your emotions, heal your inner child, change your self-concept, raise your vibration, improve your mindset, improve your confidence, tap into warm feelings, doing affirmations, scripting, visualizing, imaginary acts. So imaginary acts is like you imagine you're already married, you know, oh my God, like he's amazing and I'm getting married, like that kind of thing, right? And we're going to talk about all of this: scripting, visualizing, whispering techniques, changing the story. We'll talk all about this in the program, okay? So how will you know you're in the end state? You will be living your life in a calm state and focusing on yourself. You'll be in a state of deep knowing and believing that it's already yours. You'll feel that lovely warm feeling of whatever you desire more than you don't. Yeah, so you start shifting from focusing on lack or what's absent to what's present. Okay. And this is always evolving and changing, because once you get what you want, there's going to be something else next that you want. Or if you get that man or that woman that you want to be in a relationship with, then you're going to want to keep the concept, the self-concept of that relationship evolving. Okay, how you want it to unfold. Okay, so your homework for this week. Actually, any questions before I read out the homework? Okay, so observe yourself, your thoughts, your emotions, and how your body responds in certain situations. Okay, so if you're doing something and it doesn't, you feel the heaviness in your body, there's something there for you to look at. If you speak to someone a certain way and you feel that heaviness in your body, you're not showing up how you want to show up. You should be feeling good in every interaction. Okay? Record your triggers, awarenesses, and memories of the past and whatever else shows up. So if you're not processing it in the moment, record it. Because this is all evidence. This is all information that you're going to use to change your self-concept. Observe the things you say to yourself, how you treat yourself. So criticizing, blaming, judging, attacking. Yeah, this is all your programming. Okay. So this is the stuff that you need to start transforming. Okay. I know that was a lot. How's everyone feeling after that? Everyone's like,
Sensational.
Hey,
What was the impatience?
Sensational.
sensational, impatient. Did you say? So, yeah. How are you feeling about this concept and what I'm suggesting you do?
Good.
Okay. Michelle?
Yeah, no, all good. I'm just thinking I'm going out tonight for the first time dancing into a club, and I'm thinking I'm going to observe everything.
Yeah. Okay.
Just see what comes into my reality
Yes.
on how I am at the moment. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Look how you dance, all right? Know how to shake that booty.
Well, to be honest with you, Marie, I'm really not in the mood for it, but I'm just like, I'm already setting up the negativity, but I'm just thinking I've got to go there with an open mind and just enjoy the night with the company that I'm with. I'm with a very positive woman, so it'll be
Amazing.
If you need
Yeah.
more positivity, I'll come along.
good. All right, be there, be square.
Okay. Good. Amber?
I thought the information was great.
Okay.
And it was just interesting watching it and and some of the things that you were going through, and then, you know, observing some of the people that I work with and everything. And I hear a lot of those stories. So I had a bit of a giggle
Okay.
about assumptions and all of that, and how things show up in people's realities, and how over the past few months, how my life has shifted and changed, and how the manifestations are coming into play.
Yeah.
Through sort of already living in the end result. And it's amazing how things come in when you don't expect it to. And it is just all about the thoughts, the thought processes, living in the now, being at the end result as if it's already happened. And then things change quite rapidly. It's like, it doesn't fit. It's sort of like, in the beginning, it feels like nothing's really changing, and it's a lot of sort of effort. And it's the effort of the thoughts, and changing the thoughts, and allowing the doubt to disappear.
Yeah.
And just, you know, being in that state of imagination, like you said, being that child, being in that world where nothing else exists. And then suddenly it's like, boom, here it is right in front of you. And it's like, oh, wow, oh, wow, what's going on? It goes so fast, but yet at the same time, time sort of slows down in the same kind of, it's like this really weird place to be, but it's fun. So I'm actually really looking forward to the journey with all you ladies as well, and watching and seeing what transpires for all of us. Yeah.
Absolutely. So just on that with the little kid, I see it in my kids when they're like, I want this for Christmas. And then they get all excited about it. And I'm like, oh, they're living in the end, because they're assuming it's already theirs, you know, and they get it. Right? So it's like that. That's why it's so good to tap into that childlike essence. Bree, how's that for you?
Yeah, just listening to what Amber was just saying, and when you were mentioning about just the consistency, like every day, like it takes work. I've noticed the last week for myself is probably the most consistent, that I've woken up with really good feelings and really good thoughts, like for the first time in my life that it's been that consistent. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to, like, even just sitting through this session, just feeling all the feelings it's just starting to feel more real now, like all those desires and all those things, like I can just feel the feeling of it. So
yeah.
Awesome.
And that's credit to you for doing the work, like consistently. That's eventually what happens. You wake up and you feel good. You're excited.
Yeah,
about it,
it's not easy, because just to give you all an insight, like, was it last week or the week before, I had a week where I just had to switch off from everyone, and it felt like my world was caving in. Like I was just like, oh, but it's just, you know, I've realized that it's just sometimes I need to go and obviously process, and it's just more shedding and, you know, sort of come out the other end. Now all the good feeling thoughts, it's all more consistent now. So it's totally worth it.
Yeah. Beautiful. Christina?
I think I'm excited because I feel like I'm exactly where I should be at this point in my journey. And it's taken me a long time to be able to be at this point where I'm not reactive, I'm able to observe. And so it's exciting to take that a step further.
Yeah. Awesome. And put your wins in the group, right? So if you haven't requested to join the Facebook group, request to join it.
I did.
Yeah, good. The recordings will be uploaded within the hour after every session. And if you're working on something and you achieve it, please share it in the group, right? We want to celebrate your wins. And when you see someone post their wins.
I'm still working on that one.
Yeah. Well, and that's a part of the process too, right?
Right.
You know, sharing your wins. And so we can all celebrate. Yeah. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, good.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Labrini?
Hello.
Hello.
For me, I've had a realization that throughout my life, I've actually been the observer. And I kind of, you know, it's like stepping onto the train and then stepping off the train.
Yep.
I look forward to being a little bit more consistent in the Observer. And for me, it will be the discipline to make sure that I tick that box every day.
Okay, good.
So there's I tend to procrastinate, and just because I can do the work doesn't mean I have to. So it's that mindset. Or just because I can see the end result, it doesn't mean that I've got to stop working for it either. Just because I've had that result.
Yeah.
Just because I know it, it doesn't mean that I stop doing it.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Good. Okay, thank you. Katya's just said that was very informative and educational. Thank you very much. And did you share Salongo?
Oh yeah, I felt really encouraged to do my to make my exhibition a reality, and I felt like I can do it. And I also noticed how I speak to myself and how I sabotage my process.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be more aware of that now, which is very exciting. And it's very lovely to have all of you supporting. Like, I think being in a group and having like real time connection with people really like boosts your self-esteem and like moves you, you know. There is a life force energy and you don't feel alone, which is amazing. Like, I really love it. And I'm gonna affirm to myself, I am impatient because I am patient. Oh my
Yeah, I'm patient.
I'm so cautious. I think it's like coming from my family, but I'm gonna be affirming to myself, I am patient. And I flow with the glow. So yeah.
Good stuff. Excellent. Awesome. Well, group work is really powerful.
Oh,
Yeah. And there may be times where you trigger each other, and I invite you to lean into that. Yeah. Come to session as often as you can. I know some people can't, so they'll be watching the recording, but there'll be a few midweek support groups where we just discuss things and you bring the thing that you're really struggling with. But lean into that. If someone triggers you and you need support with it, message me. Okay? Because you're all each other's mirrors and you've all arrived here for a reason. Yeah. And if you've never really felt supported before, this is your opportunity to lean into that too and allow yourself to be supported, because it can be really uncomfortable to be supported. It can bring up a lot of shame, right? Because if you have gone into doing things on your own, that was your trauma response as a child, you continued it on as an adult, and you probably feel empowered when you do things on your own and you do them well. So it can be hard to receive and to allow yourself to be supported. So this is a great opportunity to do that. Alrighty. Okay. So I'm sending you lots of love. Thank you for being here today. And I look forward to seeing you in the group and next week.
Thank you.
Bye,
Thanks,
everyone.
Anne.
you.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.